I am getting ready to show you how to can. This is going to be a tutorial, and it may be a little long, but when I am finished, you will know how to can. I'm going to make it simple. I'm not going to use anything extra like the broth. We're going to can beans today with water and salt. Yes. So this is for all the newbies. And if you are seasoned, hey, stay along and watch for the ride, okay? So when you go and buy your jars, I am working with pint-sized jars today. These are pint-sized jars. And what I usually do is I usually cut 3 sides, family. Just 3 sides. And I'm able to take off the plastic, but it's still attached. Because once you process your food and you put your food back in here, you can take your plastic and just cover it up. So that will keep the dust off of your canned jars. Okay? So here we go. These are pint-sized jars. Excuse me. And they've been washed. Okay? And I washed them in soapy hot water. And I also wash the lids. These are the lids. And these are the rings. I did not wash the rings. You can if you want to, but no need to. And after you wash all your jars and you take your lids, this is what I do after I wash my jars. Instead of taking the lid and putting them on top of each other like this, guess what? When they on top of each other like this, you can mistake and put 2 lids on one. And it has happened to me because I know I had 12 jars and 12 lids. But when I got to my 12th jar, I was like, where's my lid? I had 2 lids on 1 jar. So to prevent that, family, this is what I do now. I take my lid and I turn this one upside down. So the inside is touching the inside, and there is no way that you can pick up 2 lids. Yeah, so even with the outside, the silver with the silver, okay? And the inside with the inside, and you just load them like that. And that way, you won't put 2 lids on 1 jar, okay? So today we will be canning beans, like I said. And I'm canning Great Northern today. And I got these from the dollar store for, well, not $1, but $1.25. So we are canning 2 packages today. $2.50. You guys, 1 can of beans costs about $2.50. So we're going to see how many pint-sized jars we're going to get for only $2.50. Okay? And these just Great Northerns. And don't stop with Great Northern. If you have pinto beans, navy beans, black beans, any beans of your choice, you can can them, okay? And like I said, I'm not going to go with a lot of seasonings today, but I have plenty of videos that you can go back and see how Grammy seasoned her beans. I have some delicious beans, so this is just a tutorial, okay? So today you will need a ½ a cup measuring cup. You would need some measuring spoons. You would need a jar lifter. You would need a debubbler. And you would need a funnel, okay? And you can buy this package on Amazon. And what I can do, I will leave the link to this package, and you can purchase it there. Okay? And like I said, I'm making this simple, and we will be using pickling canning salt today, or you can use your Himalayan pink salt. Okay? But I bought this out because you new and you want to do things right. Okay? So, and we're also going to need some vinegar. Before you even purchase vinegar, even though we are pressure canning vinegar, and eventually you will be water bath canning, because I'm going to make a tutorial on how to water bath can as well. So when you're looking for your vinegar, make sure that your vinegar is saying 5% acid, okay? You do not want anything less than 5% acid, because you would run into some trouble when you water bath canning. So just go ahead and get the 5%, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, sorry you guys, I already have one bag open, and I'm going to open the second bag of beans. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these beans over to the sink, run hot water on them, and I'm going to clean them like 2 or 3 times until I feel like they are clean enough. No need to pre-soak your beans. We don't have to pre-soak our beans, family. And we don't have to pre-cook our beans, okay? So this is going to cut out a lot of steps. So I'm going to wash the beans. Let me just show you how I wash my beans, okay? Move this. So I have my beans in water. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some and rub them together to get any dirt, any grit off of them. We're looking for beans that don't look good. Sometimes they have rocks in them, you guys. Sometimes they have little rotten spots on them. So that is what we are looking for. We want great quality beans, you guys. And some of them don't have a bean in it at all. Some of them just have the skin. You see? This is just the skin on the bean. So you know we don't want that. And so I'm trying to find one that doesn't look good. I don't see one right now, but I will definitely bring it to you. So this is how I wash my beans. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drain it off and do it one more time, and I will bring you back. All right, I finished washing my beans, family, and I just wanted to bring this to you. See, we don't want to eat that, okay? So look for stuff like that in your beans. I'm gonna discard that. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our funnel, and because we're working with pint-sized jars, we need a half a cup. So what I'm going to do is get a half a cup of beans and put a half a cup in each jar, okay? That's simple. So now what we're going to do is get our measuring spoon, and we're going to look for the half a teaspoon. When you're working with pint-sized jars, when it comes to the salt, you want a half a teaspoon, okay? Just level it off. I meant to put the funnel on for you, okay. All right. And that is it as far as what I'm going to season with these beans, what I'm going to season these beans with today. Okay, so now you guys, because this is a tutorial, I'm not going to add all those seasonings. Like I said, I will leave a video of where I season my beans. I highly season my beans, okay? And so now what we're going to do, we're just going to take some water. And we're going to pour the water into our jar. And we're looking for an inch head space. We're looking for an inch head space, okay? And the head space, usually that first line, you can't go wrong putting your head space to that first line, okay? But now you're going to have to debubble. And sometimes when you debubble, you lose your head space. So once you get the air bubbles out, this is called debubbling, because we want to remove the air pockets, the air bubbles, and we may lose our 1 inch head space. Okay? And then if we lose our 1 inch head space, we're just going to take our water and just carry it back up to the 1 inch head space. In my other videos, I use broth, but water works just as fine. Look, you guys, don't trip off not having no broth. Water is good because that's what the stores use. And guess what? When your stomach is touching your back, are you going to complain because you didn't put broth in your beans? No, you're going to be happy to get these beans, okay? So I'm just saying, with all the things that's happening in the world, the food prices going crazy, that's the least thing I will worry about is putting beef broth. Because we're going to make this so simple and the least expensive, you guys. Because like I said, one 16-ounce can of beans costs almost $2, but we're using jars, okay? So now, we're going to just take our vinegar, dip our vinegar, and we're going to wipe off our rims to make sure that there's no debris. You know, some of our salt could have got on it. And while we're wiping, we're also checking for if we have any nicks or any cracks. And so, since there's no nicks and cracks, now we're going to put our lid on, okay? Once you put the lid on it, we're going to take it and we're going to go fingertip tight, okay? We're just tightening with our fingertips. That's it. Do not just do that. Don't do that. Don't bear down on it. We just want to go fingertip tight, okay? Because if it's on here too tight, your lids may buckle. You may have some siphoning. That's when you'll lose your water. And because the jars have to breathe. Okay. And so these are ready for the canner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue filling my jars. I'm praying that the two 16-ounce bag of beans, let me make sure, yeah, the two 16-ounce bag of beans, I'm praying that looking at it, it will give me at least 13 jars. So let me load up these jars and I'll bring you back. Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. Some people like meat in their beans. This is the time to add your meat. After you add your seasonings, you just add your meat. But the price of meat today, I'm good. The water that I'm filling my jars up with today is just cold water right out of the faucet. That's it. The canner that I'm working with today is a Presto 23-quart canner, okay? And I got it off of Amazon, but you can find it on eBay. And every now and then, we can catch it on sale. And I always post on my page or my community page that the price has gone down. So make sure you subscribe if you're looking for a canner, so you can see when I post when the canner comes on sale. And just subscribe, family, because I have a lot of great videos. And to learn how to can and garden, just go ahead and hit that subscription button. All right, Presto 23 quart canner. You guys, I know there is a line where you need to fill your canner up, okay? Some people may have found canners on the yard sale, or they found their grandmothers or their mothers, and the line is gone. So working with a Presto 23 quart canner, if the line is gone, the only thing you have to do is get a quart jar and fill it up 3 times. 3 times. That's it. To the top. And it will take you to where you should be. That simple. Okay? So, like I said, this is a Presto 23 quart canner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my cold water up, because my jars have the same temperature. Cold water. We want everything to have the same temperature. My jars got cold water in it, and my canner is going to have cold water, and the beans is going to be cold because of the cold water, okay? Because we did not cook them. So now I'm just going to fill this up to the line. If you have a problem finding your line, it's a little indention in there, but once you find it, just take a Sharpie and mark it. And it's been over a year since I marked mine, and the marking is still there, okay? So now my canner is to, the water is to where it's supposed to be. This rack, it comes with your canner, and that goes at the bottom of your canner. All right, family, I have all my jars filled. I was able to get 14 jars, you guys. Here we go. Yes, so now we're going to start loading up our canner, okay? 14 jars out of 16 ounces of beans, you guys. I'm going to put 8 here. Okay, this canner holds 18. I have 8 at the bottom. Now, because I have the Presto 23 quart canner, I can get the remainder in there because I have a divider. This divider will help you load more cans, because we cannot load our jars directly on top of the other jars. We have to have some type of divider. And I will also leave this in the link in my description box. It's in my Amazon cart. Okay, you guys? So I'll leave this. So now we're just gonna lay that right on top of those jars. And we are going to continue loading. This looks good. Even though we use water, by the time they cook, you will see. It's gonna look so delicious. And like I was saying, you can add meat, but the prices of meat, you guys, I don't know. You almost can't afford it. Because I know I went look at some smoked turkey wings, and it was only 2 in a pack. And it was like $8. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can do without that, okay? So things are changing, you guys. The world is changing. The food prices is going up. This is one of the best alternatives now to start stocking up, getting you some beans and fruits and vegetables in a canner, you guys, and stock up, and just have it waiting in your pantry. So when things hit the fan, because things are going to hit the fan, we want to be ready. At least our family will have some food to fall back on, you guys. All I ask you now is, if you believe that Christ is coming, repent, family. We have to repent. Yes. So now this is our vinegar. We're going to put about 2 tablespoons of vinegar in our canner. Why, Grammy? Because I have hard water. If you have hard water, you want to add at least 2 tablespoons of vinegar to your water, because if not, your jars will come out very, very cloudy. And then there's an additional step that you have to clean your jars off. So the vinegar helps your jars for becoming not coming out cloudy. Okay, so this is the important part of this canner, you guys. This is my lid. Okay, we have the pressure gauge. We have the rubber gasket. See this rubber gasket? It comes out, but make sure it's up in there snug. Okay, make sure it's up in there snug. Okay, and this right here, this button goes up and down. Turn it to the side, hold it. Make sure this is tight where you cannot move it. Because if this isn't tight, like I said, you have to hold this, and if you can't turn it, you're good. But if you forget and this is loose, your canner will not come up to pressure. Been there, done that. And the vent pipe, you guys, you have to be able to see straight through your vent pipe, okay? Straight through your vent pipe. And that's it. So now we're going to put on our lid, and we're going to turn it. We are going to close it up. All right. Make sure your canner is in the middle of your eye. Some people go medium high, but I am going to go high. So my canner is on high, and this is going to come up to pressure. Okay. When this comes up to pressure, you guys, you see this little vent pipe right here? This little vent pipe right here will start shooting steam steady, okay? Once this vent pipe right here starts to shoot steam steady for 10 minutes, you have to time it. If you see this shooting steam for 10 minutes steady, then I'll show you what you do next. I thought I'd bring you back because you see this right here? This little button, it's going to spew water. It's going to spew hot water and steam. And this is what it's supposed to do. So do not get alarmed. Let it do what it's going to do, okay? Because when I first started canning, I thought something was wrong. Water was coming out of here and everything. So now it's going to jiggle, and it's going to eventually pop up. And once it pops up, that means that your canner is locked and you cannot open it if you wanted to. All right, family, I timed it. This vent pipe has been shooting steam steady for 10 minutes. My button has popped up. That means my canner is locked. Now I will put my weight regulator on it. And now I will wait for my canner to come up to 10 pounds of pressure for my elevation. If you do not know your elevation, just Google it. So I'll bring you back once I reach 10 pounds of pressure. While we are waiting for my canner to come up to 10 pounds of pressure, did you know that your canner can also be used as a water bath canner? Yes, so you don't have to go out and buy an additional water bath canner if you don't want to. You can use your canner to water bath can. And you see how close I am to my canner? I'm not afraid. It's not going to blow up because I did everything that I'm supposed to do. Safety first. All right, family, I am at 10 pounds of pressure. Remember, my heat is still on high. I am going to dial my heat back just a tad. All right? If it goes between 10 and 11, that is fine. Do not let it go past 11 and do not let it fall below 10. Just keep your eyes on it, okay? So now I will set my timer for 75 minutes because I am working with pint-sized jars. Even if you had meat in it, you still take it to 75 minutes, okay? So now we will wait and let it process for 75 minutes. And after 75 minutes, we will turn our heat off. It's been 75 minutes. I will now turn my heat off and I will let it come down from pressure. That button right there will drop to let you know that you can open your canner. I do not open my canner right away. I wait for about 10 to 15 minutes or sometimes longer because I may be doing something. So just because that button falls, that doesn't mean to run to open your canner. Just let your jar sit there and rest. All right, family, put your towel down because we cannot put hot jars on a cold countertop. Get your jar lifter ready. Here we go. My button has dropped. That means my canner is ready to open. So it is unlocked. Take off your weight regulator. And this is the only time that you would take off your weight regulator. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will unlock my canner. Now that it's unlocked, I am going to lift up my lid and put it back down because there is a lot of steam in here. It's been about 15 minutes, okay? Lift it up away from you at all times, because you will get burned. Ooh, that smells good. Even though it's just salt in these beans, they smell delicious. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my lid away from me and I'm going to take it to the sink. Oh man, they smell so good, you guys. So I'm going to just take my jar lifter and just take some out for you. And then I'll just bring you back. Here we go. And they look delicious. Here we go. I'm going to continue on taking these out and I'll bring you back. Voila, here we go. All 14 of them, you guys. And I believe they have all sealed. And you might say, Grammy, how do I know that they are sealed? I pulled out a lid. Can you see that hump? Can you see there is a hump? If there is a hump after 12 to 24 hours, you know you have not gotten the seal. If you can push it down like that, that means it have not sealed. So what you're going to do is once you take them out of the canner, you're going to leave them right here. You're not going to touch them. You're not going to do anything until the next day. After the next day, go through to look to see if they have sealed. If they have sealed, take off all the rings. Okay, this is the ring. And you're going to run some dishwater, and you can submerge them in your dishwater and wash all your jars. And take them back out and lay them on a towel to dry. Okay, so in order to know if your jars have sealed, I pulled one of my black beans. If you can lift your jar by the lid like this, you know your jars have sealed. Okay? So I remember when I was a new canner and the person would take them out of the canner and then the camera will stop. I didn't know what to do next. So I'm letting you know, leave them here. Don't touch them. Don't do nothing to them for 12 to 24 hours, okay? Wash them with soapy water. Let them dry. Label them. You can label them on top and put them in a cool, dark place out of any sunlight. Okay, family? I just wanted to bring this video to you guys for all the new people. I know this was long, but this was a tutorial. So there is no excuse why you cannot can. Okay? And I failed to mention 14 jars, you guys, for $2.50. 14 16-ounce jars for $2.50. The cost of my beans. You can't get no better than that. I love you guys. Y'all know I do. And that's why I do this. Because I love you. But guess what? I love the Most High more. Shalom.